Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. The New South Wales Greens say a decision handed down by the Court of Appeal over the proposed expansion of an Upper Hunter coal mine confirms the state government must consider local impacts of climate change of coal, which is burnt regardless of where it is. The Mount Pleasant mine expansion was deemed invalid by the New South Wales Court of Appeal yesterday. The decision was made in consideration of the impacts of the mine on residents, as well as the impacts of open-cut mining on exacerbating climate change. Environmental lawyer Elaine Johnson says the Independent Planning Commission must consider climatic impacts on residents in future approvals.
The Court of Appeal has said that the very serious climate impact linked with the proposed expansion must be taken into account by the Independent Planning Commission when making any new decision on this approval. So it's going to be a real challenge, I think, for Mac Energy to try to regain its approval.
The owners of the Taro grocery and convenience store are counting the cost after fire ripped through the shop early today. Crews were called to the Anderson Drive store just after 1:30am, finding a fire in the rear residence. It took them about 90 minutes to bring the blaze under control. No one was in the store or the residence at the time. However, sadly, a cat was found deceased when crews were mopping up hotspots. Police and fire investigators are examining the circumstances surrounding the fire. Newcastle Lord Mayor Ross Kerridge has all but ruled out developing a sister city relationship in China. Chinese Consul General Wang Yu suggested the idea as a way of forging deeper ties with Newcastle during a meeting with the Lord Mayor last week. Councillor Kerridge says he's keen to develop a policy for external relations and says our trade links with China are the best way to encourage friendship and cooperation.
You watched the messaging about the Prime Minister on his recent visit to China, and I can't remember the line, but we will work together where we can and we'll disagree where we must, but we'll always keep talking, and I think that's the way it should be.
A shipping container has gone up in flames in the backyard of a home at Western. Crews from Abermain, Kurri Kurri, Kersley and Cessnock were called to a home on Teeth Street just before 2am to find the container well alight. Newcastle Fire Command says the shipping container had furniture, gas cans and hand sanitizer stored inside. Crews took about half an hour to get the fierce blaze under control and no one was injured. The Rural Fire Service has received a boost ahead of the summer season, with 290 new and refurbished trucks rolled out across the state, including the Hunter, over the past 12 months. 26 have gone to the Hunter area, which takes in the Central Coast and parts of the Mid-North Coast. RFS Inspector Ben Shepherd says it's part of a continuing effort to upgrade the fleet.
Last year saw more than 200 new trucks, but importantly as well, a 90 refurbishments of some older trucks, because as you can imagine, some of these trucks don't do a lot of kilometres each year. And there's a good idea that we just put the latest safety equipment on it to ensure those firefighters have that added protection. So we want to continue that program.
And 2 Hunter high schools have secured a place in the H2 Grand Prix final in Germany. The students built and fine-tuned remote-controlled model cars which run on hydrogen. Half a dozen local schools took part in the qualifier event held in the Illawarra, and yesterday the team from Warners Bay High won the qualifier race, notching up 542 laps in 4 hours. Rutherford Technology High's all-girls team secured a wildcard entry into the World Finals after taking out awards for innovation and girls in STEM categories.
To NURFM Sport.
Incoming Knights CEO Peter Parr says playing more NRLW matches as curtain raisers for NRL games will help in boosting crowds for the women's fixtures. Over 21,000 attended the Newcastle men's match against the Warriors last Sunday, however only about 3,000 stayed for the women's match played afterwards. Forward Eva McEwen says she thinks playing before the men will get more eyes on the women's game.
I did go around and thank all the fans for staying, but yeah, I think before the games, before the boys was probably better, yeah.
Reigning NBL 1 East Women's MVP Nicole Munger will be out to lead the Falcons to another championship when they begin their playoff campaign tomorrow. The guard is averaging a tick over 20 points and 14 rebounds per game and coming off a 41-point double-double in her last start. The Falcons will travel to North Sydney tomorrow to take on the Bears. In Newcastle Rugby League, leaders Maitland will host top 4 rivals the Entrants, and the Hunter Wildfires can secure a Shoot Shield final spot with a win at home over West Harbour tomorrow. That's sport. I'm Will McGrath.
And the winning numbers in Powerball are 2, 4, 6, 19, 25, 31 and 34, and the Powerball is 20. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.